We live YouTube.
Facebook, we live. All right, let
Happy
me.
New Year's.
Happy New Year's, girl. We
Happy,
we
happy,
we are freshly on it. We're freshly on it.
happy New Year, everyone.
Happy Blue Year.
Welcome back.
It'd be funny watching this main screen that got what we on there. It'd be tweaking and jerking. But anyways, what you over there drinking on?
A little energy pump up
Oh,
mimosa.
oh, disgusting.
You wish. It's good.
But now, yo, I woke up this morning like, did I miss the time?
I'm
I
like,
woke
wait a
up,
minute, I need a little more time. Hold on, wait. No.
but now, gonna give it a second before I jump into it. Do you be looking at
Yeah.
yourself while you on here?
I do. I can barely see myself. My eyes are kind of, you know. I'll be like, but yeah, so you having a great morning so far?
Yeah, I got to get out there on the road and slide around. I got to not worry about nobody whooshing past me.
Not too much traffic out, huh?
Nah, it was pretty light. I don't know. It just be interesting to get out in the snow as opposed to the rain because, you know. Oh, let me share this real quick. That's what I forgot to do.
Go ahead and get it out there. Not too much. Uh-oh, I hear me over there.
Oh, what up with it, DD?
Hey, Dee. Happy New Year 2022.
She said, Happy New Year. She said, hey, my loves, Happy New Year's, nephew and sis. Love y'all so much.
Oh, love you more.
I always been your baby. But nah, so this would be a great time to start.
Oh, yeah.
So today's episode, the title may change. I was thinking about this before I got on. The title may change. So today's episode is titled You're Wasting It, inspired by my favorite movie, Good Will Hunting. And it's basically me wanting to talk about the generational expectation and divide between the older generations looking down to the younger generations,
Mm-hmm.
and feeling like just going through the courses of life at the point that we are, and then looking down and knowing what the world and life has to offer, and then looking at.
Sorry, that's the sign. Those signs.
Now they probably trying to go get that car that's was struggling to get up and down your street, but
Yeah.
but nah. So just looking back at what we already know and experience, and throwing that into the younger generation or the younger children that don't even have those lenses of what to expect from the world. So rather than teaching and properly passing off the baton, we heap expectation just based off of the advance that we see in, whether it's technology or information, the accessibility of information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I just want to talk about why we do it. And it's funny why we do it.
Yeah.
And it's only because the rate in which information is afforded to us in the time that we went through our struggles, it wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And we just think that we can drive and steer younger people's lives.
Yeah, well, that's a good topic. Let's jump into that.
So you being, what would your generation be? I know I'm a millennial. You are
A decader.
the decader. All right. But no, so
kidding.
Everybody's huge thing now is feeling like children misuse social media and the internet and all of that improperly, and not understanding which I do it too, because it's just like I don't get caught up in it. But it's, how can I shape this to where I can give you a nice runway to get into that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so my favorite one that I hate from your generation and above, that it still bothers me today. I'll give it to you like this before we even focus on under me. So a lot of your generation goes, and the old and your mother's
Before
generation
me.
goes, yeah,
Yeah, before
goes,
me.
goes. When I was 16, I was out of my parents' home and I was already on my second mortgage and da, 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 da. I'm like, dude, milk for you costs 72 cents. Like, get out my
Hmm.
face. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Things were a
and
lot cheaper.
yeah, and I don't think that they don't realize that they messed up a lot of things for us in a sense.
Hmm.
So they just go, well, we expect for you to pick up what we messed up at and have your life together. And I feel like that's real inconsiderate. And and it also heaps a lot of pressure on people that don't even. So basically what I'm trying to say, she said, yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is adults suck at the relay race of life. And
Hmm.
somewhere along the way, somebody's generation dropped the baton.
Yeah. So you want me? You expect me to tell you which
Yeah,
generation it was?
I'm expecting for you to cape for your generation. I don't know what your generation per se exactly went through. Of course, you have the trial and tribulation of the horrors of the late 70s, 80s, which you was a late
Hmm.
70s baby.
Hmm.
Uh, so yeah.
Don't tell everybody that. But yeah, it's I think our generation morally, that's like besides y'all's generation, y'all's kind of move fast. My generation was still kind of slow, trying to pick up the new airways that was coming in so fast. Like everything changed fast by the time me and my adult generation. And we're trying to just catch on, hang on, and well, thank God for y'all, our children, that is under our generation. Still, you
Mm-hmm.
know, it kind of helps us pick up the pace to what to utilize. I'm gonna say utilize the what is given now is
Mm-hmm.
more what we didn't have then. I mean, we had computers back then, but different families wasn't able to have those type of, you know, back
Now,
in those times.
when I say the heap of expectation, I feel like as far as community wise, if we go racial divide, it's more so a disconnect and seeking of knowledge. Well, it's the disconnect from knowledge and the accessibility of knowledge from our culture as far as older generations. But then it's the heap of expectation from the crinkly whites that go, oh, well, I had all of these afforded to me from my forefathers.
Hmm.
And I think they're looking past the things that they mucked up and they heap the expectation just because they feel. I feel like the older generation takes a lot of credit for modern technology, when a lot of the times I'm pretty sure they really don't know how it works. They just, don't get me wrong, there's pieces out of their equation that created the technology, but a vast majority of them don't know what it's for.
Hmm. Hmm.
And um yeah, so on our side it's a disconnect of not even knowing that knowledge existed, and then on theirs is expectation heaped down. So that's where the disconnect comes from, not understanding what is going on in the current from ours.
Hmm.
So basically we're the youngest teaching up,
Yeah, basically.
and then on the other side they're looking down and tearing down based off of the old status quo, which one
So,
which leads me into why the older people that have already went through their life believe that they could much easierly go through life with the information that they have now if they were my age. You get what I mean? Or
hmm
younger, which
hmm
isn't really true because they'll probably stumble along the way. Who knows?
hmm
But it really leads me into wanting to talk about having and holding information and knowledge and not knowing how to apply it,
yeah,
and basically already being somewhere and wishing that you were afforded knowledge because you have the skills of application.
yeah, sounds good.
She said,
Well,
sounds good.
well, what I can say about that is, I mean, even like I said again, before me, the people before me, they hold back the knowledge, and I guess you have to necessarily reach out to seek it, but it's just like I don't know if they're keeping it a secret on their end. But with y'all's generation, I mean, y'all kind of quickly maneuver. Like when something's learned, y'all are easily to share it with, people before y'all. So, but vice versa, like you say again, it's not. I don't know. I don't know why it's reversed like that, but it really is. It's reversed to where the younger generation is teaching my generation and beyond what they should have been teaching going forward. But so I don't know what could have, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know which way I'm trying to say it, but I mean, a lot, like I said again, depending on which way we're going with, I guess since it's technology, I mean, some
Well,
of them
not
don't even use that.
even before that. So what your mother's generation and before that, as soon as computers and TV and whatever got implemented slightly early in what the your 20s, there was expectation there and a look there of, well, you're afforded faster, whatever, improved whatever, and it's like, what are y'all doing with what you were afforded in your time? Because for them everything was immediate. They didn't get to see outwardly. They didn't get to see states over in a matter
Hmm
of a click. You get what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, that's true too. That's what I say. I'm trying to look at it at a different way to where I mean, of course, with school having those type of devices, but like I say, morely at the home front setting, it was just what was, provided within that time. So if you did have internet and computer, it was only a certain limit or a certain thing that you could either go to, look at, listen to, things of that. But now since it's so worldly and open in
Mm-hmm.
y'all's generation, it's just like wow. I mean, but still I know people in my generation still uses what is caught up today. That's what I'm saying. With y'all generation, y'all keep us caught up to date. In my
Yeah.
generation, whatever my generation is called. But it's just like with my mother,
I'm gonna look it up. But
and people before, it's just like they're more manual. Like I said again, it's like it's a scroll that they have that they keep on lock and don't want to pass up to my generation and beyond. So, it's just a good thing that the generation now is more knowledgeable, can seek more knowledge in easy ways and turn things,
oh, you're
make
you're
change.
you're a zennial.
A zennial. Okay, well I'm a zillionaire. A zillionaire. I'm a zillionaire.
Hey, but now,
Okay, but
so what I wanted to say, and I didn't want to cut you off because I guess it was the accessibility of technology for y'all back
mhm,
then, but then now it's like, well, everything's a computer nowadays. You have it just at
yeah,
the tip of your finger, da 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 da,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
about how you use it
hmm
and all of that. So
Yeah.
it's just like rather than rather than explaining or trying to give knowledge downwardly, it's more so a heap of expectation and a tear down rather than a push forward generation to generation.
Yeah. So when you say a push forward, what you mean in my generation, a push forward?
In any generation, it could skip your generation and go because I feel like your generation is more receptive of even hearing a young person speak.
Yeah.
You got
Well,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And the further you get up the chain, it's just like I don't know if it's like me. I'm already at this age and I'm at so,
Mhm. Mhm.
and don't nobody want to hear it.
Yeah.
And then eventually, my generation is going to get into a spot where we can't talk and express downwardly because we're just gonna take the same chain of action that y'all are. Because it's gonna be like, yo, y'all
Yeah.
got X,
Like
Y, and
it is.
Z.
Yeah.
Why aren't y'all doing it like this? Or you got what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm. And there's different ways of choosing how you utilize what's given to you out here in the world, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And like you say, it depends on like what are we using it for? What is you know, the
But
main reasoning of using it?
do
But
you feel like the expectation of taking what's afforded and is created and we reap the benefits of is being do you feel like the outward out the hold on the outburst of heavy expectation is heaped down because of what was intended to be created for? How am I trying to say? So basically the creation of technology and the internet and how we use it nowadays, do you feel like it's that heap of expectation because it's a misuse in the creator's eyes of how we use it, or do you feel like it's just because they didn't know what they were actually creating, if that makes sense?
oh no, they knew what they were creating. But like I say, it's all in the control of the mind as well. That's why some people, the ones who know how to utilize it and when to utilize it, they have their limitations, but some of them just heap it down because some people probably didn't even expect all this to even come. They probably thought like, oh, okay, well, they knew it was coming, knew it was going to be more change, which is still more to come. But I think they just wanted to, you know, try and confuse the mind of saying, okay, you need this. Now I'm going back to the people before me. You need this. If you don't have this, then you can't do this. As far as in tech, like that's just like controlling your money on the internet, like through the internet. I mean, so it's like different things when it's no more privacy. I guess that's what was being
Well,
heaped down.
I don't think it's a thing of privacy. I just don't think that we know how to properly teach youth. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, well, that's true.
Or not even teach, just support youth.
Support youth as well as, you know, but see, that's when it goes back to you wanting to seek the knowledge of whatever it is.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of people. Well, which is
Some
tricky.
try to find it on their yeah, some try to find it on their own, right? But
Yeah.
when there's living witnesses or living wisdom, so why not reach that source as well as before you hit, researching something else to Google or something like that. But
Now, when you said seeking knowledge or being, but for me, I don't know if I was just always just curious about things or if I learned to be curious about things. So that's a slippery slope. So
mhm.
I don't know if you could coerce or teach somebody how to want to know for themselves or seek knowledge for themselves. A lot of people like to just be told. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. The game is to be sold, not told. So when when people say that, like I said again, you gotta want it. You gotta want to learn, and like I said again, seek what you don't see. I mean, and
Yeah, but do you think that's just a case of people, like, when I say people, older people not understanding, like, one size don't fit all in life with the expectation? Because it's just like, you have people that's out there my age, your age, that actually are applying the things that are afforded to them. You know what I mean? Like the
mhm,
knowledge that they could reach back and seek from where each generation messed up, where things fell apart and are in shambles. You know what I mean? And trying to
mhm,
try to repair the things that they see and understand that. Meanwhile, fighting through unrealistic expectation that don't make sense. You know what I mean? Especially because,
mhm,
like, you see life through a whole different lens than me. Like, you got to see an era that I didn't experience, which was,
mhm.
you know, but
Yeah.
I think that it's seen in the older generation as minute that we have a we have an epidemic as well, as far as like opioids and all of that. So we experienced a different drug crisis than what
Mhm.
your generation experienced. What, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for people to be like, oh well, life for y'all is a lot more easier. You didn't have to experience one. Like, granted, we didn't go through what the super crinklies went through, which is
Yeah.
a lot of crazy wars, but
Yeah. Mhm,
it's more so a war of the mind for us now, a war of space, a war of
mhm,
utility,
mhm,
resources, and all of that, right? Like,
mhm.
my generation is looking at and figuring out how to preserve. Meanwhile, the generation before you and before you was looking at how to conquer, how to produce, and build. You get what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
So not understanding that the difference between preservation versus creation is two different fights, and not understanding how to look at the common ground and the similarity in construction and preservation.
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of people that have things to say generation to generation is a little too close on wanting to be heard and give their opinion, basically to live through the younger person.
Yeah. No, I can't do that. But yeah.
Did I lose you?
Well, you kind of did, but you can't necessarily say that, the older generation, including me, can't really live through the younger generation. I mean, I know that's either give or take with that, but it's like y'all's generation, is like a eye opener for, the y'all generation parents and then back. But like I said again, some people are scared of that. What I'm trying to say, like change. I guess that's what it is. Change, and when a person is trying to share knowledge amongst, the younger generation to the older generation, you just do it backwards like that. It's like, okay, this is, young person don't know what they talking about. But when a person that is already like full of wisdom pick up on some things like, okay, I like your idea, or I like the way you looked at that and found something to, on how to utilize what you just learned. Okay, that could teach me something. So, I mean, what's the saying? Each one teach one. Why would nobody, why wouldn't anyone want to?
Hey, hey, you saying that, you, bro, why did that movie have to ruin that line? Monique single-handedly in that movie ruined that line.
I mean, but it's just the truth. I mean, like I said again, we can all teach each other in some type of way
Well, yeah, we all can, but
to,
so let me ask this. So you know how parents, once they have kids, they idealize um they get a wonderful picture of how they want their child's life to go, right? And they be
Mhm.
like, oh man, all right, my child's gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna make
Mhm.
sure my child can do this. And
Mhm.
then whole time the child's like, yo, dog, I don't want to do this. And in the parents' mind and their eyes, they're like, yo, dog, you're messing this up. You're not doing this right. You're not doing that right. And it's not a matter of the parent being wrong. It's just the fact that they're not understanding, yo, this person has their own life. This person
Mhm.
sees the world different. And they
Mhm.
actually want to do and drive their life different.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
And
granted,
basically, listen, basically, I didn't mean to cut you off, but basically, when you say live their life different, it's like they want to, they see things in the world that the elders are have been either blinded to or just want to be blinded to. And I just feel as a parent that, yeah, you want your children's life to be set up, in a proper way and want them to go like straight and narrow, but
mm-hmm.
maneuvering in a world like as such, that's not gonna our way is not gonna be the same way because it's different struggles, different battles, competition, just a lot too many worldly stuff that they're trying to get away from and find an exit. So why not support as a parent or elder? Why not support the youth on that to not make them conform to how we were or before us was. So.
Yeah. So like that clip I had sent you of Good Will Hunting.
Hmm.
um, I just think that older people miss the signs of when a young person actually understands where they are place and time in the world, and
Hmm.
when it looks like freelance living and not really caring and lack of application, you get what I mean? But
Hmm.
it's more so understanding of the moment, and for older people it's squandering of space and time in life, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But for us it's like, dog, we living, like, it's my fault that you messed up, right? Yeah, I mean, my fault that you
Yeah.
didn't get to do what you wanted to do. And I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of the times of the heap down of expectation, where I wanted to go, here we go, the heap the heap down of expectation is more so it comes from the people that really didn't get to live their life because their parents steered their life. So they're like, yo,
Hmm.
dog, I didn't get the chance to do all the things that I wanted to do, so you're going to do these things that I really wanted to do, and so
Hmm.
on and so forth.
Hmm.
So all in all, it's just a cycle of living the next person's younger years.
Yeah. But, well, the reason why I'm saying yeah is like, yeah, you wanna say that, but like I said again, I don't see it working in no type of way because, like I said again, and I'm not even gonna call it rebellion. It's just that I think you know younger, or I'm gonna say my generation, we're just now really getting it. But to morally move more freely, I mean, because like I said again, instead of being hunkered down on, not wanting to apply or gain knowledge and then just be stuck in the mind, stuck in the same cycle. You still got to just, I mean, like I said again, you got to just move freely in life as far as and use whatever is accessible. And that's regarding any generation. I mean, because it's here for us to use. So it's just all about
You
what you
want to
want to
know?
do with it. Uh-huh.
You want to know where I sound? You want to know where I sound like a crinkly white at?
Where?
When I be like, dog, all this technology and y'all people just want to sit on TikTok and da 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 da. And all the time I be watching reels laughing, but it'd be like, come on, dog, we can be doing something better than this. But it's
Hmm.
just like not seeing that in a way that that could catapult a lot more people getting into, say, for instance, somebody's passion is acting. So rather than shutting off an avenue of a person getting comfortable with entertainment and being in front of cameras,
Mm-hmm.
it's more so like you're using that wrong and not looking at the benefit. You got what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Mm-hmm.
being like, you sit all day on social media and do whatever, da 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 da, or you're
Mm-hmm.
just consumed by a device. You're not actually living and experiencing life. You get what I mean?
Right. Right.
Um, not understanding that I'm trying to see I'm trying to see on that side where I could say, well, maybe they're da 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 da. But now, um, who knows? I just don't see that part of it. You know what I mean? So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the times it's like, do you say what you think, or do you wait and see how it plays out and how things are being utilized? You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just I think people wait and see how like see what works for somebody else. Like, oh, okay. That's when it trickles down to okay, y'all younger generation versus mine's, right?
Mm-hmm.
We see you use TikTok. I'm gonna say TikTok. I don't have a TikTok, but anyways, you know, you see the younger generations, kind of moving faster at it, and then here we come in my generation trying to do what y'all generation's doing, and it don't match up. Like everything is not for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but like you say, depending on how they use it, like if you want to be like makeup artists as such, you want to show your works and different things like that. Well, I feel personally, I wouldn't want to use TikTok. More, I would want a different platform, but not knocking TikToks or whatever, it'd be some funny ones, it'd be some good ones. People really be, editing real
Yeah.
nice. But me personally, I wouldn't want to use that as my outlet because like I said, I'm not about to jump in a whole fish bowl full of everybody doing basically the same thing. And
Mm-hmm.
then here I am, where am I being pushed to, or just trying to look for the numbers and too much work. Like that's too much. So leave that for the younger generation. They're doing a good job at it.
Mm-hmm.
But me and my generation need to kind of pipe it down, let them do their thing, and we do something more like on a larger scale instead of like TikTok and just to I guess keep the fountain of youth. So
So let me ask this. You funny. So
I,
so because I believe each generation just looks at the positives that they have in their generation.
Mhm.
What area can you say that you feel like I'm gonna need you to throw on your cape for your squad, for your gym? What area do you feel like they dropped the ball in as far as your generation? Like
uh,
what mishaps can you say that you see from your generation that came from your generation?
like, is that regarding like disciplines as far as, I mean, like, do you,
Disciplines, the mess up of markets, social and economical,
well, like I said again,
anything.
I mean, if we were restricted back in my time on certain things, and then, or as far as y'all generation wasn't restricted, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all found ways, ins and outs of how to get to certain things. Us, the restriction was real. Like, where was I going with that? I lost my train of thought. But yeah, so
Hey,
it's
no.
just
So it wasn't the hookah last time, but no. So I I'll give you one. On it ain't even your generation on this one. This is just how I've been feeling for a minute. So on one above you, the generation above you, I feel like in our community, I feel like where they drop the ball is the passing of information and knowledge. I don't think. Well, it's not even think. It's just a vast majority of what is now considered elders didn't share the information given, learned, and seen.
Mhm.
That is vital. So I feel like in that we skipped a heartbeat and we're just now reaching back and learning all of the stuff that should have already been instilled. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one above you,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
So you saying, what would I put the cape on to try to? Well, that's a kind of hard one to think about because I mean we dropped the ball. I don't think we dropped the ball. Well, it's kind of I'm kind of in between on that to where because it depends. I'm only speaking as like an individual, but looking at the world as a whole, as my generation, we kind of I don't know. I think we mixed the past and then the new that we was being hit with. It kind of like clashed. Like it's like we in the middle of just like this going back and forth on
Y'all are in the middle of the divide.
yeah. So it's just like, and the more and more we try to pull away, which some of them are away, but it's just like it's a tussle. Like that's kind of yeah. They left. I'm gonna say they left me in a confused state, but like I said again, me going back and having to seek like different knowledge that was like kept from me and how to research whatever I was looking for that wasn't given in my times, whether that be school, family, or any other adult or elder.
It's funny though, but you can't look and see why y'all are in the middle
Yeah,
of yeah. You really don't know why y'all in the middle of the divide
I really don't. I'm gonna be honest. I really don't.
because
It's
yeah
just that's
because y'all generation is in the middle of all of the trauma and destruction that happened after all of the warfare internally in the states.
is that right?
Well, yeah, they uh they started to try to kick the legs out before your concession, and they really punched the air out everybody's chest once they implemented and ran cocaine and all of that through y'all generation.
Hmm. So that's where the world took a
So the
spin on.
so the generation in our community, the Black community, and
Hmm.
ethnic and all of that, the warfare in that took place in what the 60s, 70s, and then yeah. So that's why y'all in the middle of just not really knowing which way to go. That's why whenever
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
yeah. I mean, I'm just and I need to kind of figure that out because that's how I feel. Like, okay, well, like when I found out certain things a little while back, like, dang, why wasn't that told to me, or why didn't I know that that was there, or
Yeah, that's what I'm
you
saying.
know,
The generation
so.
before you didn't pass down information, rather
Hmm.
because it was too gory for a lot of people to, want to share down. Which is
Hmm.
funny. That's why it's funny that we deal with the expectation of why aren't you doing? And it's
Hmm.
just like, dog, we had to go back and learn because y'all didn't properly teach. Y'all didn't want to share.
Yeah,
Y'all was just like, well, this is what the life is, and
yeah,
go swim. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Basically, jump in there head first. But yeah, that was a good one. I'm still kind of mind boggled over that because wow. But see, that's why I say it's just yeah. Now that I can just look over even people my age, like yeah,
Mm-hmm.
still
Hey,
closed out to the new the new
that's why
world.
that's why it's slightly funny. You got some people that you can tell that there's a few people from the generation above you that was like, hey yo, the things that I experienced, my people gonna know about this. I'm gonna make sure I tell this information down. But it's a
Hmm.
large chunk of people that was either a really, really, really traumatized and fearing, not wanting to speak about all the things that was going on. It sounds like they hitting donuts out your way. They whipping the block. They over there busting donuts for Betty over your way. They
They need to go
they
home and park.
they sliding on the white today, huh?
Sliding on Betty White.
Nah, but
No, son.
no. So as far as inwardly because that's all I'm gonna keep it to. Like that's the only thing that everybody on here makes sense for them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I don't want to talk too broad in my brain because I could really run. So if
Mm-hmm.
it come up and y'all want to hear this again, let me know. Y'all want to hear the other side of why it's actual, in my opinion, a generational divide. But no, like spanning from the reason why I say it's not your generation and y'all really looking like, man, which way do I go? Y'all still stuck in a realm of purgatory because it's a world of spin for y'all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because y'all like, oh well, I know all of these things went on. I'm not that far removed from what rather it's what the bombing of Black Wall Street and the destruction of Black Wall Street. Um, you know, y'all got y'all traumas, which I haven't heard the stories of the 70s, 80s. Like, you know what I mean? Like deep
Mm-hmm.
diving through the lens of rather it's you or anybody in
Yeah.
our family. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like I was going somewhere. Yeah, so I'm sure you haven't really got to dive in and hear the stories of what that feeling and not even just the dark side of it, just like what was actually being done with the resources that was afforded to y'all in the 60s, 70s, you know what I mean? Before
Mm-hmm.
you. That way
Mm-hmm.
you go, oh, well, if they had this, and now that I have this, I can apply the simple things that, even though it wasn't simple for them, the simple things that
Yeah.
they were doing and
Mm-hmm.
advance it in the technology world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Combined.
gives you a stepping stone of not just a guideline of, hey, yo, this was done with less, but it also gives you the confidence of like, mm, I wanted to say niggas, but I'm gonna say it. Niggas been doing niggas been doing it.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, just the lack of information. Give more information and stop expecting.
Stop. Yeah. Stop expecting, basically things to just work out in your head and not
Mm-hmm. You want to hear something funny that I've just been chuckling at this whole time?
what.
So when I'm looking straight on in this one, I'm like, I look at my mama, and then when I look over here on the right in the in my other one, and you'll sit up and you'll sit back. I'm like, boy, look at Brianna.
Well, hi Bray, if you're watching. But yeah, I'm over here. That's a mind blower right there. So this
What?
topic is really, I ain't gonna say it's a mind blower, but it's just wowed me just now because I'm still pondering on how we
The
dropped the ball.
the lack of information given to y'all?
Yeah, how we dropped the ball, and yeah, so I don't know. I think we was morally taught fear than knowledge. I think we just taught fear.
Well, I mean, I'm telling you, they really, yo,
Hmm.
they ruined a lot of things for y'all.
Yeah,
The only thing y'all was taught was say no, but y'all
yeah.
didn't know what y'all was saying no to at the time.
Just no means no. No, go ahead.
Hey.
Just no means no. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so but yeah, that's basically we got to do better. My generation, we have to do better and be able to
Did you purposefully did you
exchange.
purposefully match your headphones with your hoodie this morning?
No, not purposely. These still the same color. It is kind of blending in. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I'll be trying to match. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I mean, dang, this is really a topic. It's a topic for all topics. It can go deeper than that, but I would have to actually sit
Bring
down
your
and ask,
notes.
yeah, bring my notes and actually sit down and be asking some questions to my
Mm-hmm.
elders,
Yeah.
asking like what really happened, what really went on.
No, but when you do ask your elders, you get that apprehensive and they try to move off of what you really want to know about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of taking information into the ground, into the next chapter of their life. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
pretty soon, it's just gonna be whatever published book says. You get what I mean?
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Whatever Google says, whatever. Excuse me. Whatever the news says. So it's just like I want to hear from the beings on the earth that can walk some miles, but they suppressing it, so it'll be like picking some meat out your teeth if you go back and try to ask some questions to some elders, or they'll feel like, okay, you're going too far. What do you
I'm
mean?
I'm over here being childish mentally. I was gonna say, man, one of your generation's biggest mishaps. You remember when I was messing with you about Lloyd Banks, Beamer, Benz, or Bentleys the other day?
Wait.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was really y'all song of the summer.
I can't believe you say that. Then,
Beamer,
like, I
Benz,
never.
or Bentley. I wish I could play it.
Uh-uh. They didn't want to. I don't know. I didn't listen to that in my summer,
Yeah,
but I remember the song.
that was y'all summer.
And then nobody had no Beamer, Benz, or Bentley, but yeah. Mm-mm. No Beamers or Bentleys and all of that. None of that.
But nah, yeah.
The fantasy.
My generation's mishap would be being too lax and being too purely, if that makes sense.
In your generation,
Hmm.
hmm. So why more lax?
We just more laxed.
Oh well, basically, I try to go with the flow and make it look easy,
She
which is
said,
good.
try to make it look easy. Nah, we just be like, it's gonna happen or it's gonna not happen.
Hmm. Instead of making it a struggle to find out things or wait on things or
Now,
see how things.
I just think that we realize, well, we're traumatized by just a lot of murders. So I just think we just more like, well, everybody got time until the expiration date come. So we just like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. So that's the expectation of y'all's generation. Is that what you're speaking?
Do it while you're here. That's why we accelerated. We just like do
Hmm.
it while you're here.
Hmm. Yeah, I still consider that the fast life, but yeah, do it while you're here. Like I say, live freely, but at the same
She
time,
said the fast life. I mean, is it really fast though?
I mean, it depends on what life it is that you're trying to live fast. Like if you're trying to hurry to get to the money, trying to hurry and get to, you know, a business popping off, or it depends on what you want to move fast in your life. I guess
Mm.
that's what I want to say. But that's good. I can respect the lax part. Like I say again, instead of like busting your knuckles to hurry up and so basically y'all go with the flow and we up here trying to catch up, basically.
Well, next week, guys, since
Guys.
Keisha Day wanted to talk about love.
LOVE.
uh the name of next week's podcast and just the whole premise will be starters and finishers. And Lakeisha is gonna steer that one.
Oh, I better have my hook already.
Not the who. Nah, I don't need you lost. I do not need you lost.
But you
Um,
said it wasn't the hook of the day.
yeah. Nah, I just think you wasn't ready for me to talk in the specific area that I was talking.
Yeah,
Um,
that's.
I think what I did is over the week make it sound super simple, than more
Uh-huh.
simple than what it was, but it's not
Yeah,
simple
it
because,
really isn't. It really wasn't for me. But
but yeah.
it still was good. It still was a good topic. Still got to do some more research on my side because, yeah. But
But
yeah,
all right, forehead twin.
let's talk about love.
All right. We'll
next
be
week.
back next Saturday at 10:30, hopefully. If not, it'll be 11:30.
1122.
Girl, go home.
All right, everyone. Thank y'all for tapping in.